StateZero Labs is a solution-led blockchain accelerator and also investor. And so what we're looking for is early-stage startups utilising blockchain technology for business, nothing to do with cryptocurrency. We're relatively early stage, so we take in businesses anything from pre-MVP, so before they have a product at hand, through to having already a few clients. And we are sector agnostic, so we take a minimum of 6 per cohort twice a year. I think over the past 5 to 10 years, the conversation around diversity and inclusion has really heightened. And we have seen some really great ideas about what we can do to combat this. But the issue is we seem to stop at the talking about it as opposed to the doing. And that's the next step and why it's so much more important for us to do that now. Because actually, the more complicated tech gets, the more crazy innovations get, the more important that is, therefore, for us to have diversity and inclusion within our teams. Because actually, that's a board level issue, because it has been proven that the more diverse and inclusive your workforce, the more money that you make. So I think that's a really difficult question to answer, because actually my grandma believes that I work at Dragon's Den. It's the only way I can describe an accelerator or an investor to her. But I think maybe a dumbed down version that works quite well is that blockchain is about counterparty trust without the third party using cryptographic authentication. I think for me, my background has been quite diverse for somebody now working not just in tech, but in quite a complicated industry of technology. And I think in my experience, I struggled to really know exactly how to use my previous experience in a new space. And maybe that held me back in moving industries. Maybe I could have done that a little bit earlier. But what I did grow to realise is actually having that diverse background, not being from a techie background, provides you an insight that other people might not necessarily have. And actually, for me, technology has always been about the people, the connections and community, as opposed to the technology itself. I think my biggest piece of advice would always be that actually you do not need to conform, you just need to be. And what I mean by that is to just be you. And actually, if we all conform to what we see a certain sector looks like right now or has looked like in the past, we're never going to establish any change. And so it's important that we actually believe in ourselves to be able to provide great insight into an industry and that we'll make our mark. So I think it's important to split that into two. So first of all, if you are a startup or somebody looking to found a startup and want to utilise blockchain technology, that actually you are solution focused and you're not doing the whole square peg round hole. You don't want to use technology just for the sake of it. It has to really be solving a problem. And I think that's the first step on the startup side. In terms of those working in the industry as a whole, I actually think it's about taking a step back and really understanding what technology means to you, whether that's blockchain or anything else, and working out then what your mark can be on that industry before you then jump to see whether that's the right thing for you. I think the first thing to do is to look at the market and take a step back. And actually what we really believe at StateZero is that the blockchain bubble has well and truly burst, and we're pretty happy about it. Because what that means is that those utilising the technology in all the right ways are now able to rise to the top, and we start to get rid of that noise. But in terms of educating the market, I actually think that's where startups come in. They're the ones who really understand how to use the technology. They're solving a specific problem as opposed to anything and everything. And then they can educate everybody else, whether that's corporates or government or whoever else, in order to really use the technology in the right way. So StateZero Labs is sector agnostic, and we did that on purpose because actually this technology is still relatively new. We're still trying to work out exactly where it's best placed and the industries of which it works really well, and those that maybe it doesn't so much. And so that means that all of our startups are utilising the technology in totally different ways and covering all different kinds of industries. So we have 3 of our 7 who are using tech for good. So we have corporate social responsibility through to impact funding. We also have sustainable construction. We have fintech, we have parity in the music space. We also have corporate operations, and we have one startup using blockchain for shipping and logistics.